everyone. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I appreciate if you guys leave comments in my videos where me and Cabby plays. This is a live chat and live stream. Um, right now we are going to find some villagers. Or no, we start getting some tools, right? We don't find anything else but just tools for the starter. And so, yeah, we do this. It's really fun. Um, Me and the boys do this plenty of times. Hardcore survival is a game where we can't really spawn again. Basically, we're done. So, if we die, we gotta restart the world and try to do it again. Basically, that's the rules. Simple, right? But no, the survival game mode is gonna be really based on true horrors. Hard mode means that we cannot get hit by any googlies or traps or TNT. One block can do so much damage to -1. What I'm doing here is I'm grabbing some wood, yeah? And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna build inside the mountain because that's our starter home. It will look more decorative later on. What we're doing is we're doing some mining for some wood. This is what we start on. This is what our project is gonna be. After the beginning, yes, of course, me and the boys. Later on, they're gonna join, no matter what they say. But they are going to join the survival world, but which is gonna be new to them, because this is a new world. I am gonna have them spawn, and let's think about what the fall damage does, because once I fall from great height, it's over. It's game over, basically. And no, I'm not missing this fabulous iron over here. What we're doing is basically what me and the boys do sometimes, is that we mine this first. Then we start on stone tools, yeah? Then we get the stuff that is needed for later on resources. We grab everything that we need, get out safely. Now you see there, once there's one iron, you know that there's going to be more in this cave. So what me and Cabby is doing is that we're actually taking turns. Whoever dies first, we lose, basically. Now what we're doing now is grabbing some coal. And that coal is used for some more resources, or we can build a block of coal, which is actually a waste. We can actually create some torches, you see on the screen. What we're doing is well, basically what the zombies will do is they will swarm you sometimes, and you don't want that to happen. And yes, bats do scare me. So if they jump out, don't worry. If you hear a scream, that means I'm scared of them. Which I'm not, actually. Because they're harmless little guys. Now what me and her is doing is we're just going to go around the cave looking for the resources. If we find them, we can actually locate them. quite simple. Now, as you see here, there's a vein of iron here. Well, what iron is basically like this compressed little gray thing, or whatever you see here. That is actually not iron. That is actually looking like copper. Copper looks different compared to iron. Now what we're doing here is we're grabbing some resources so we can start on smelting the iron, which is actually, I don't know what it looks like because it's not really iron yet. Now this area is quite simple. Basically, gravel is used for flint and steel. And once we get flint and steel, we can actually start getting some diamonds. I'm sorry for all the commentary, but yeah, once we get enough coal, we can actually start making this stuff for a blast smelter. What blast smelter is, we need a heck of a ton of a lot of iron. And let's hope we don't die in this cave. Because if we die, it's game over. What we're doing now, it turns into chaotic, basically. You hear these strange gargling sounds, which is actually Enderman trying to scare you, basically. Gargly sounds are normal, but they do scare you a heck of a lot. If you find a abandoned mine shaft, just tell us. If you join our world, just beware that some things do not change. Like, as for combat, because if we do combat, then that's just going to screw us over. The person you kill has to get revenge on you. That depends if they want revenge. Because if they don't, then you can kill them constantly, but this is hardcore survival. We have to survive. If even one of us dies, it's game over. As you can tell, this cave is now empty. So what we're doing is basically we're grabbing the torches out of the cave and returning to the surface. As you can see from the daylight, it's dying. That means it's almost nighttime, which is gonna be crappy because, well, let me just say that nighttime isn't the always best time to be out in when night falls. Sponsoring me would be appreciated, because once we have enough gold and enough coal, we can actually start making some sweet, awesome things. As you can tell here, we tried to make something similar and really important, but this wall just keeps on going. That's why we mine over it. Now, as you can tell, we're going deeper, and it scares me to go deeper. Because one, you can feel how deadly it is. Now, I'm not the only one here. Sadly, it's over, basically. Audio is being recorded, so yes, it does scare me. Because there's googlies in here sometimes, and they do practically jump scare you sometimes. Now what we're doing is just scanning through the cave and looking for materials. The more we find, the more better we get. Now do know that look at my pickaxe. It's about to break, right? Well, yes, it is, but I left my crafting bench upstairs, which is bad, so we're gonna keep it here. Now, do in mind that if we die, it's game over. And yes, try to be careful with the creepers and things down here. This is only for safety first. If we do die, it's game over. Because if a skeleton comes here, it's over. That's why we try to grab materials first, before we even comprehend. As you can tell, we finally got a iron pickaxe, means that we can actually start mining this stuff. What this stuff is that we need it for decorations. And decorations with granite is actually kind of useful, because the granite is actually cool. And do keep in mind that this gravel is very extremely dangerous. So don't dig straight up when you're in a mine shaft, because that could hurt. But we are doing this professionally, so don't mind us. If you do play on this platform, do please be careful, because it can be sometimes where you can die. Some things never change. In fact, why don't I show you what really happens after the series ends? Now that we have our first part of our body completed, we have some similar changes. Things do keep this in mind, that sometimes people die awfully too much. You see our hunger going down, right? Well, that means we're about to die. So if we don't return to the surface, all of our progress will be resetted. Now, dying isn't the only thing I'm scared of. Regenerating is the most important thing about what I play. Now do keep in mind that sometimes I don't check what's on top of me. Now we head up. Do keep this in mind that sometimes things don't go out too well, and the cave can be surrounded with googlies and creatures and stuff like that to kill us. What I'm doing now is doing the most scariest part, getting some food. Now do keep in mind, some cows do hide, because they do not spawn here. Either find rotten flesh, or find zombies, fight them, kill them, and get their rotten flesh. That one did not drop any rotten flesh. That means it's hard to find. Now do keep in mind that some skeletons are scary. We are about to die from hunger loss. Do keep in mind, if they do shoot you, just try to avoid them. But if they do shoot each other, you know what that means. Now that's was just a mistake. Well, basically we got like 5 lives left. I did not go that way, I'm sorry. What we're trying to do is that, well, we just lost our map. Means that we can't do anything without it. So, you might know what the end of word of this is. Yep, we had to do it. All that iron that we found is kind of a loss. Now, do keep in mind, Cabby should have run, but she didn't. So what this one is going to be is a different thing, and Cabby is not going to use it anymore. So basically what we can do now is that we can do this. Now do keep in mind that this world is, well, we never used this in a very long time, so I might not know what we're doing. Do keep in mind that these diamond tools are actually mine, not my friends. I actually farmed these. And the dungeons are actually really simple, to be honest. You can actually create your own armor, which is kind of cool, because compared to the rest, you can't trade them. Now do keep in mind, that's 8. We only have 10. Now do keep in mind that these frickin' things are quite annoying. Is because what we don't do is farm and grind. But we do need to grind a lot, basically. Now do keep in mind that this dragon is very simple. It is very hard to control on ground because of how fast it is. This little one is extremely annoying to control. Now, do keep in mind that these islands are very... I don't know how to explain, but it does get some updates usually. Oh, and what's also cool is that we finally found this. This is basically ours. This is ours, which is cool, is because it's different, basically. We can either A, start a farm over here, but do keep in mind that this block is very hard to mine once you don't have any pickaxe. If you break it, all the tools are lost that is inside. All the loot that I gained from it dies with it. Now do keep in mind that this lava parkour is very hard. It's because I don't really do it. Lava parkour is the hardest parkour that I cannot do. Now what you see here is food, and look at that, iron netherrack, some iron tool. And yes, dragons can swim in lava, but we cannot. Is because this game considers dumb to us, basically. And do keep in mind that I missed. Sorry about that. But yes, we can do almost... Do keep it... Also, yes, I missed that also. And we're gonna die here. Now, do keep in mind that some of these creatures are very annoying. So that's why we take the boats. Now, do keep in mind that this pier has just been destroyed. Well, the Googlies did it, so... It's because they took it, and... Basically, we're back to control it. As you can see, we didn't find it, but look what we just found. We just found melons. Melons are a good source of protein. Oh, I need 2 shulker boxes. Oops. Oof. Huh. Now I shall show you why it's so hard to control this guy. Look how fast he goes. He flies. Because of how fast he is. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm sorry that has to be cut short. And I'll talk to you all later.